You can't have an epic fantasy series without an epic villain. Or 10.
You were going to Dumbledore, weren't you?
No.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Harry Potter villains. For this list, we're looking at those characters that came into conflict with Harry or other protagonists throughout the Harry Potter series. While we relied primarily on the films, we did take information from the novels into consideration. Number 10. Yaxley. Kicking off our list is this Death Eater baddie who participated in both the First and Second Wizarding Wars alongside Lord Voldemort. Like most, if not all of Voldemort's supporters, Yaxley was a strong supporter of pureblood wizards, and despised both half-bloods and mudbloods alike.
If my wife's blood status were endowed, and the head of the Department of Magical Law Enforcement needed a job doing, I think I might just make that a priority.
As the head of the Department of Magical Law Enforcement, Yaxley helped Voldemort infiltrate the Ministry of Magic. He also went head-to-head against Harry, Ron, and Hermione when the trio used Polyjuice Potion to get inside the Ministry and steal the locket from Dolores Umbridge. Number 9. Professor Quirrell.
Harry Potter, can't tell you how pleased I am to meet you.
Who said villains had to be physically intimidating? No one would have suspected that this stuttering professor was actually the main villain of the first film, until we discovered that he was actually sharing his body with Voldemort.
I'm never alone. Never.
Taking a sabbatical to gain experience, Quirrell actually searched the world for Voldemort, believing he would be able to learn new magic from the Dark Lord.
I see myself holding the stone. But how do I get it?
Quirrell made several attempts on Harry's life, including jinxing a broomstick during a Quidditch match.
What's going on with Harry's broomstick?
Harry would eventually thwart Quirrell's attempt to obtain the Philosopher's Stone for Voldemort, resulting in the professor's death. Number 8. Fenrir Greyback. One of the nastiest supporters of Voldemort, Fenrir Greyback was a werewolf and semi-Death Eater who was obsessed with turning as many people into werewolves as possible. Greyback preferred to attack children, as he intended to one day take over the world with a werewolf army.
I was also a werewolf named Greyback. I hope to repay the favour one day.
He was despised by almost all of the Death Eaters because of his half-breed background and because of his implied sexual perversions. He affected the lives of many major characters, including Remus Lupin, Bill Weasley, and Lavender Brown.
He doesn't have the stomach, just like his father. Let me finish him in my own way.
Number 7. Lucius Malfoy.
Lucius Malfoy. We meet at last.
Being a Death Eater almost assures you have a spot on this list, but Lucius Malfoy took it to a whole other level when he slipped Tom Riddle's diary to Ginny Weasley in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, in an effort to ruin Arthur Weasley's career.
All those extra raids. I do hope they're paying you overtime. But judging by the state of this, I'd say not.
A cruel bigot who believed in the superiority of purebloods.
And I thought your family could sink no lower.
He played a major role in the Battle of the Department of Mysteries, when Voldemort sent him to recover a prophecy.
Give me the prophecy now, or watch your friends die.
Lucius would eventually defect from Voldemort when he realized the Second Wizarding War was lost, which we believe makes him even more of a snake.
Draco. Come.
Number 6. Bartemius Barty Crouch Jr.
All of you, this way!
You could argue that Bartemius Crouch Jr. was the man responsible for bringing Lord Voldemort back to life in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. As he infiltrated Hogwarts under the disguise of Alastor Moody, and manipulated the Triwizard Tournament so Harry would win and be transported to the Little Hangleton graveyard.
Mr. Crumb? The Chinese fireball.
This allowed Peter Pettigrew to perform a ritual with Harry's blood that restored Voldemort's physical body.
Which of you conjured it?
Crouch, you can't.
I do not lie!
Crouch remained one of Voldemort's most loyal supporters even after his first defeat, and was one of the Death Eaters who reportedly tortured Frank and Alice Longbottom to the point of their going stir-crazy.
This session is now concluded!
Number 5. Peter Pettigrew. While Peter Pettigrew is far from an intimidating villain, he was the catalyst for the entire series when he betrayed his friends James and Lily Potter by revealing their location to Voldemort, resulting in their deaths.
You sold James and Lily to Voldemort, didn't you?
I didn't mean to!
Furthermore, Pettigrew faked his own death and framed another one of his friends, Sirius Black, for the murder, causing Black to be arrested and placed in Azkaban.
You should have realized, Peter, that if Voldemort didn't kill you, then we would!
Pettigrew also played a large role in helping Voldemort return to physical form.
Bless you, boy! Bless you!
His cowardice and disloyalty make him one of the most despicable villains on this list.
Your dad would have spared me. He was showing me mercy!
Number 4. Draco Malfoy.
Draco Malfoy.
While Voldemort is without a doubt the main antagonist of the entire series, Harry has no bigger rival than Draco Malfoy.
Shut up, Malfoy.
Coming from a powerful magical family, Draco looks down on the mixing of blood and constantly harassed Hermione for being a mudblood,
No one asked your opinion, you filthy little mudblood.
while also criticizing the Weasleys for being poor.
My father and I have a bet, you see. I don't think you're going to last 10 minutes in this tournament.
While Draco became somewhat of a pitiable character towards the end of the series, he was the prototypical schoolyard bully throughout, and was always a thorn in Harry's side.
Trust me, I was chosen.
Number 3. Dolores Jane Umbridge.
I saw him, I fought him.
Detention, Mr. Potter!
The central villain of the 5th installment of the Harry Potter series, Dolores Umbridge was corrupt, brutal, and manipulative. Essentially everything you don't want from a person in a position of power.
Because you know, deep down, you deserve to be punished.
Assigned to Hogwarts by the Minister of Magic Cornelius Fudge to act as a spy, Umbridge brutally tortures Harry and other students and eventually has Dumbledore removed as headmaster.
Enough of this. Take him!
Later in the series, Umbridge was in charge of the Muggle-born Registration Commission and persecuted countless Muggle-born witches and wizards for allegedly stealing magic.
How dare you! Filthy half-breed! Incautious!
Number 2. Bellatrix Lestrange.
Itty, bitty, baby. Potter.
Without a doubt, the most loyal supporter of Voldemort, Bellatrix Lestrange was also one of the nastiest characters in the entire series.
You filthy half-blood!
It's all right. It's just a curious lad, aren't you?
She participated in the torture of the Longbottoms following Voldemort's first defeat, and remained loyal to him even after being placed in Azkaban. After escaping the prison, Bellatrix continued right where she left off, by murdering Sirius Black at the Battle of the Department of Mysteries. She also tortured Neville and Hermione, murdered Dobby, and was involved in the destruction of both Hagrid and the Weasleys' homes. Yeesh.
How did you get it? What did you and your friends take from my vault? Don't take anything.
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
You wanted to know who the boy in the photograph was. I know. Gellert Grindelwald.
Number 1. Lord Voldemort.
After tonight, no one will ever again question my powers.
He who must be number 1.
You must be very brave to mention his name. or very foolish.
Was there any doubt who our top pick would be? The main antagonist of the series, Voldemort was there from the beginning when he murdered Harry's parents, to the end, when he waged war on Hogwarts.
I'm going to kill you, Harry Potter. I'm going to destroy you.
Not only did he try to murder Harry at every turn, he wanted to rid the magical world of anyone he deemed unworthy, specifically those of mixed blood. Sound familiar? Voldemort embodies the evil characteristics of every person on this list, and is unquestionably one of the most famous villains of all time.
Of course, sir. It'll be our little secret.
Plus, just look at him. He doesn't even have a nose. Do you agree with our list? Who's your favorite Harry Potter villain?
I will have order!
For more terrifying top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.